Hello everyone, I am Dr. Vikram Joshi, faculty member, Department of Management Technology, Shri Ramdev Baba College of Engineering and Management. Now, we are going to discuss hypothesis testing part 2. In hypothesis testing part 2, we are going to cover the hypothesis testing for last sample and also the hypothesis testing for variances. Now, if you look at this particular sheet, in this there is an example. A soft drink company produces 2-liter bottles of one of its popular drinks. The quality control department is responsible for verifying that each bottle contains exactly 2 liters of soft drink. The results of this is shown below. So a random check of 40 bottles is undertaken for this particular purpose, and we need to check whether each bottle contains exactly 2 liters of soft drink or not, and this we have to test at 5% level of significance. Now here, if you look at this data, so here you can see quantity in liters is given and the sample is collected for the 40. Sample size is 40, so 40 bottles are randomly selected for this particular purpose. So we have to test whether the bottle contains exactly 2 liters of soft drink or it is something other than this quantity. So here our null hypothesis will be mu is equal to 2 and the alternative hypothesis will be mu is not equal to 2. That means either the bottle contains the soft drink which is either greater than 2 liters or less than 2 liters. So here size of the sample is 40 and the sample size, this can be treated as the last sample. So here normally when it is said in theory that whenever sample size is more than 30, it is a last sample, and we use the statistics, that is Z, where Z is given by x bar minus mu upon standard error, where standard error is given by sigma upon under root of n. So obviously here the assumption is that we must know the population standard deviation. In majority of cases, this standard deviation, population standard deviation is not known, and that is why we need to rely on the sample standard deviation, which is represented by S, and hence whenever we use sample standard deviation instead of or as a replacement for population standard deviation, this Z can also be treated as T, and that is why in all major softwares we see that for even the last samples T statistics is used. Now we will proceed for checking or for seeing how this hypothesis can be tested. So since this is the last sample, so we will upload this particular sheet. I have made another sheet for this particular purpose wherein the serial number of bottle and quantity is given. So this sheet now I am going to upload in R Commander. So here you see the R Commander. In this, first of all, we'll import the data. So I click on data, then import data, and then from Excel files. Now enter the name of the data set. Again I name this data set as say dataset 1 and then click OK. After clicking OK, I select the file hypothesis testing 1. In hypothesis testing 1, I select n greater than 30 data which I have selected in Excel worksheet and then click on OK. So here dataset 1 is now appearing. I can view this dataset. So this is the dataset which comprises of 40 observations. Now we'll proceed for testing of the hypothesis. So again, click on statistics. We are testing for the mean single sample. So single sample t-test, select single sample t-test. Now here variables are shown. First variable is bottle serial number, second is quantity. So select the variable quantity. Then we want to test the null hypothesis that mu is equals to 2 liters. So we'll enter here the value of our population mean. Then alternative hypothesis will be population mean is not equal to mu naught, or by default it will take now the value that is 2. Now by default confidence level is 0.95. that means we are doing this for doing this at 5% level of significance. So again click OK. You will see here the data we have used is of quantity. T value is 0.25306. The degrees of freedom is 39 and P value of this is 0.8016. Now the decision rule says that if P value is less than or equal to 0.05, if the level of significance is 5%, then in this case we reject H0, that is null hypothesis. And if P value is greater than 0.05 at 5% level of significance, then we do not reject H0. So in this case what we see is P value is much higher than 0.05. This indicates that we do not reject H0, that is null hypothesis, and that is why this alternative hypothesis true mean is not equals to 0 will not hold. So here the assumption, the hypothesis that mu is equal to 2, this mu is equal to 2 assumption will be hold true, and that we are going to accept. So this is a single sample test when sample size is more than 30. Similarly, we can perform this for the two samples. Now here in this case, if we see this Excel sheet, here we can see that we have tested the alternative hypothesis. Now if in case our alternative hypothesis is mu is greater than 2, so in such cases we can go for statistics, testing for means, single sample. We can here change our alternative hypothesis. So whatever we wish, mu, whether we want mu less than 2 or we want mu greater than 2, whatever, depending upon whatever alternative hypothesis we need to test, accordingly we can select this. And now if I go with again 0.95 confidence level, click OK. Now here we can see the alternative hypothesis is true mean is greater than 2, but P value is much greater than 0.05. We do not reject H0, and hence the assumption or the hypothesis that mu is equal to 2 is the correct assumption, or this assumption will hold true at 95% confidence level. So this exercise we can perform even for other confidence levels, like here I can go with 99, I can select this, less than 2, OK. So here I see that P value is again higher than 0.05. This means again it provides a sufficient evidence to conclude that mu is equal to 2 or mu is not less than 2. So this is how we can make the inferences based on these values when the sample size is more than 30, that is we are having a large sample and also having sample size more than 30. Now Similarly, we can proceed for testing for even the other type of data, like when we have two sample, then in two sample, which is again large, where n1 and n2 they may be same or they may be different. So even for two sample datas, we can adopt the same procedure. So here again the test statistics is z equal to x bar minus x1 bar minus x2 bar minus mu1 minus mu2 divided by standard error, where s is nothing but your again sigma 1 sigma 2 etc. So here instead of sigma 1 sigma 2 we may use here s1 s2. so this s1 s2 is nothing but the sample standard deviation of first as well as second series. So by using this we calculate the value of the test statistics. So here accordingly we perform the analysis using R. So again here I need to upload this data set first. Now here I go into the data, I import the data again from the Excel file, then I name this as dataset 2, then click OK. Hypothesis testing 1, then n greater than 30. Now I want two sample data, so I select two sample data here. So this data set 2 is now appearing in the data set. View the data. So here we can see that there are the datas collected for two different brands, brand A as well as brand B. So the data is listed here, average life. Now in this case what we are going to test, there are two consumer durable companies marketing two brands of electronic iron A and B. The researcher has taken a sample of 35 from first company, sample size of 40 from second company, computed their average life, and now he want to test whether there exists a significant difference between the average life of the two brands A and B. So here average life of brand A, average life of brand B is listed. So we are testing the null hypothesis mu1 equals to mu2, and the alternative hypothesis is mu1 not equals to mu2. Now so we are testing whether the average life of the brands marketed by two companies, their average life is significantly different or whether it is same. So for this particular purpose, this particular data which is given for brand A as well as brand B on average life, we have uploaded here in R. Now again to perform the hypothesis testing, we'll again go into the statistics. We are testing for two means now. So here we'll go for independent samples t-test. Now here we're picking or we're making or testing for two brands. Our response variable is average life. So select average life, click on the options. Now the difference is calculated like brand A minus brand B, that is x1 bar minus x2 bar. This is our mu1 minus mu2 equals to 0. This is our hypothesis. So alternative hypothesis is two-sided, or it can be even one-sided as well. So if we take two-sided, 95, assume equal variances. So since here it is not at all mentioned whether the variances are equal or not, we can take our own assumption. Normally it is expected that we test for this particular assumption prior to proceeding for any testing of hypothesis. So here assume equal variances. You can even click on yes or no depending upon whether you have already tested it or not. If you are not tested, then you can go with default, that is assume equal variances no. But if you have tested for normality or any such criterias, then you can click on this yes as well. So it is expected that whenever you are using a large sample, you know that whether they are normally distributed or not. So when they are normally distributed, you should test for their even variances as well, whether the variances are same or different. Now by default also you can use so no, and then click OK. Now here you can see average life of brand. This is the data we have used. Now t value is minus 1.6844, degrees of freedom, and then p value. So here p value is 0.09. we are testing it at 5% level of significance. So since this value is greater than 0.05, that is 0.95 confidence level, then we can infer, we can interpret on the basis of this that we do not have the sufficient evidence to reject the null hypothesis, and that is why we do not reject null hypothesis, and hence with 5% level of significance we can say that mu1 minus mu2, this difference is equals to 0. So this is how we can make the inferences on the basis of the available data. So you can even go with other alternatives as well, or other options as well, like you can here change 95 and then if you take 90% and then again click on OK. So when you click on OK with 90% confidence level, so here again p value is 0.02. so again in this case we do not reject the null hypothesis, since here we are going to compare with 0.10, and if we compare this p value with 0.10, because we have selected 90% confidence level. 90% confidence level means 10% level of significance. That means we are going to compare now this p value with 0.01. So if we compare with 0.01, this value is less than 0.01. This implies that since this value is less than 0.01, we reject H0 and we accept the alternative hypothesis. That means we can say that at 10% level of significance, this alternative hypothesis, that is true difference in means is not equal to 0, is accepted at 10% level of significance, but this is not accepted at 5% level of significance. So as your level of significance reduces, then the chances of rejection will go on increasing. If your level of significance you keep at higher level, that is from 1% to 5%, 5% to 10%, then chances of the accepting your alternative hypothesis may increase. So this is how you can compare your hypothesis at 1%, at 5%, at 10% level of significance. It may happen that something is not accepted at 1% but may be accepted at 5%. Something which is not accepted at 5% may be accepted at 10%, which is this is what we are observing in this case. So this is how you can make your own inferences. You can test this for various other level of significances for better insight and better understanding. So in this is the option wherein you can even test other alternatives, like other alternative hypothesis depending upon the nature of situation, circumstances. I can select here 99 and again click on OK. So if I select 99%, that means 1% level of significance, that means I will compare this p value with 0.01. So obviously here the value of P is much greater than 0.01 at 99% confidence level or 1% level of significance. This particular hypothesis that true difference in means is not equals to 0 cannot be accepted. So this is how we can test the hypothesis with regard to means. So these are the various options available. Now, as I said in part 1, that the beauty of this particular software is that whenever you click on the options, it will highlight all such options which you can use for your analysis purposes. It is not necessary that all the various options which are given here may be useful for you, but all the possibilities that you can perform will be automatically highlighted by this particular software. So this is one of the advantage of this particular software. Now again, so this is for the last sample, 2 sample. Now if you want to test for variances, for example, here there is a company and this company wants to test whether the variances of their products are significantly different or variance of some particular brand is more or less, etc. So depending, so they have taken the hypothesis, null hypothesis obviously will be sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square. But here the company has certain hypothesis that variance of brand A is less than variance of brand B. That is the reason the alternative hypothesis is one-tailed. So here n is equal to 10. Here F statistics is used whenever you are testing for variances, 2 variances or multiple variances. You normally perform F test. So this F test is given here, the formula is given here. So this data is available on this particular Excel worksheet. So I upload this Excel worksheet here. So again I go into the data, import data, Excel file. Now I name this as say dataset 3. Again OK. Now hypothesis testing 1 under this variance data. OK. So here dataset 3 is now appearing. You can view the data. So this is the data of so here brand A and brand B, these are the 2 datas available, and every company, the sample of 10 from each company is taken here. Average life is given here. Now here we are testing for the variances. So again, for testing for variances, click on statistics. Now here testing for means, even here you can test for the proportion. If you want to test for 2 means or 2 proportions, etc., single mean, single proportion. So instead of having the value of X, you are having the probabilities, percentage of defectives, percentage of production undertaken, proportion of consumption made, etc., such type of data, wherein instead of taking the average value, you make the assumption of average probability. That is the only difference. So you can use here this proportion for testing, and then variances. So here again you have certain options available, so only will go with 2 variances F test. So here again there is grouping by brand, response variable is average life. If various other grouping factors are available, then for those grouping factors also you can apply this particular test by selecting that particular variable. So again in options, here brand A, ratio of brand A brand B, that means the formula which I shown to you here, that is we are taking the ratio. So this ratio, how it is going to take, that is mentioned here. So brand A upon brand B, this ratio will be used. Now again we are going for the hypothesis, that is, so ratio, whether ratio is less than 1, ratio is more than 1. So here in this case, for example, here if sigma 1 square is less than sigma 2 square, so obviously the ratio in this case will be less than 1. So accordingly we will make or take the assumption, so ratio is less than 1. Again by default 0.95% confidence level. Okay, so again here average life of brand, F test is F value is calculated, and here P value of this is 0.0009305, which is very much lesser than, which is significantly lesser than 0.05, because 5% level of significance we have selected. So since this value is significantly less than 0.05, we reject H0, that is null hypothesis, and we accept the alternative hypothesis, that is true ratio of variances is significantly less than 1. So this is how, that means whatever hypothesis we have taken here, this hypothesis is accepted, alternative hypothesis is accepted, and that too at 5% level of significance. Now if I compare this value even with 0.01, this value is significantly lesser than 0.01. So I can here conclude that even at 1% level of significance, this particular hypothesis, null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is true, and even for 10%. So this is how we can even apply, we can even perform the hypothesis testing for variances as well. So in statistics you can look for these various options. Here even non-parametric test is also the option available, wherein you can calculate these various, or you can use these various tests to sample Wilcox zone, single sample Wilcox zone, Krushar-Wallis tests, etc. But non-parametric tests are not that popular and are used very under exceptional conditions, not very frequently. In normal practice we go with parametric tests as they are assumed to be more reliable, and hence, but depending upon your own requirement for testing, you can use these various options for testing of hypothesis. The procedure, the decision rules, all such things remains the same. So this is all about the testing of hypothesis. Hope I am able to clear all your doubts and difficulties with regard to understanding of testing of hypothesis. Thank you very much for patient listening.